thinking, looking at some of those names. It was on that baseball. Albert Pujols on that baseball right now with 3,000 plus hits.
Very cool. The Blue Jays have taken the field. There's Albert. And the story goes apparently that Ichiro was on the fence as to whether or not he was going to sign it. And it was Albert that talked to Ichiro about signing that baseball. So it's good to see Albert kind of be part of that baseball, not once but twice. Let's take a look at the Angels lineup. Game number 48 at 26 and 21. Kinsler will lead things off. He's at second base. Trout's in center. Upton is in left. Albert at first base. Shohei Ohtani at DH. Andrelton Simmons at shortstop. Zach Cozart at third. Martin Maldonado behind the plate. He'll bat eighth. And it's Chris Young tonight getting to start in right field, batting ninth as they take on the 35-year-old left-hander native of Peru, Illinois. His name is Jay Happ.
Jay Happ's fastball 90-94. He'll throw a slider, curveball, and changeup. Pretty solid season so far from 66 strikeouts in 52 innings pitched. My go-tos, though, to be successful against Jay Happ tonight, if you're the Angels, life in the fast lane. He throws a lot of fastballs. 72% of his pitches are fastball, especially that high four-seam fastball. Bring it down in the strike zone. If you do so, that's when you center up that baseball and barrel it up and hit it out. He's given up 9 home runs total. You want to get a couple of those multi-run big flies also. 7 home runs versus his fastball. 9 total home runs allowed by Jay Happ. Doesn't give up a lot of base runners because he doesn't walk many, but you got to be able to square up some of those mistakes, especially with his fastball.
Kinsler ready to lead things off. Blue Jays, like the Angels, had the off day yesterday. This after getting swept by the Oakland Athletics in a 4-game series here. Halos, of course, snapped their losing streak on Sunday with the victory. Ian hitting .202. First one tonight is in there for a strike. First pitch is brought to you by Simpson Chevrolet. 6 doubles, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in for Ian. That's a strike on the inside part of the plate. Doesn't like the call. 0-2. Mike DeMuro calling the balls and strikes tonight. Mark Wegner's the crew chief at first base. Jim Reynolds at second. Ben May at third. Flare foul.
And Happ will throw that fastball inside and cut fastball inside very well against right-handed batters. It's when he lets that fastball drift out over the plate. That's the one you have to make sure you don't miss.
Pitching from that third base side of the rubber. A little bit high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Happ's coming off a start against the New York Mets. Picked up the win. No runs on 2 hits. 7 innings, had 10 strikeouts, no walks. As Kinsler goes down swinging to start the game. There's that pitch you were talking about. Take a look at the Blue Jays on the defensive side of things. A little different look for the Blue Jays with so many injuries. Granderson, Pilar, and Hernandez in the outfield from left to right. The infield with Donaldson, Urshela, Travis, and Smoke from third to first. Russell Martin behind the plate.
And Kevin Pilar out in center field when you think about saving runs. 50 defensive runs saved. It's the second best among center fielders over the last 3 seasons. Only Kevin Kiermaier with more defensive run saves in center field.
Trout skying one out towards center field. Kevin Pilar is there. 2 down. Mike jumping on that first pitch. Skies one out. And Justin Upton will stroll to the plate.
And I don't blame any of the hitters being aggressive on first pitch against Happ. He's around the strike zone, doesn't walk a lot of batters. He throws a lot of fastballs, especially first pitch fastballs. So be ready to get that baseball and drive it. Trout just missed that one.
The Angels have had success against Happ. This is his 8th career start against the Halos. 1-6 with a 6.17 ERA. Upton at .250, 11 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Takes a strike. Bouncing in the dirt. Light crowd tonight, at least the outset of this game. They have been drawn fairly well. 27, 28,000 range, but it's been a tough go for them of late.
There's that high fastball trying to get hitters to expand. Upton 4 for 8 in his career versus Happ. 2 of those home runs.
Going back upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cap doesn't waste any time, just didn't even leave the mound. This was line to center. Pillar's got to go back a couple of steps. The Angels down in order to start this one off. Into the bottom of the first with no score. Lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays, their 48th game of the season. Curtis Granderson leading things off and left. Josh Donaldson at third base. Justin Smoke, the first baseman. Teoscar Hernandez in right field. Kevin Pillar in center field. Russell Martin, the catcher. Kendrys Morales batting seventh. He's the DH. Gio Urshela, the shortstop batting, playing shortstop batting number 8. Devin Travis batting ninth, playing second base. Garrett Richards on the mound. Gooby, he's coming into this one with a 4-2 mark and a 3.47 ERA. 10th start of the year.
And he's thrown real well on the road. 2-0 with a 2.57 ERA. 95-98 with his fastball, slider, and curveball.
Curtis Granderson, starting left fielder. Now 37 years of age, and he will take one upstairs. 255 batting average for the Grandy man. 7 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in.
Pretty good career numbers against Richards. 4 for 6, with 3 of those being home runs.
Richards falls behind here, 2 balls and no strikes.
Very patient hitter, doesn't chase or swing at that first pitch hardly ever at all. Now in a good fastball count.
Clanking off the glove of Maldonado. Pretty close to being a strike.
Yeah.
It's 3-0. Granderson last year splitting time with the Mets and the Dodgers. 147 total games. Even though he hit 212, still 26 home runs, 64 runs batted in. 3-time All-Star. Pulls this one to the right side. Kinsler in shallow right field's got it. And there's out number 1.
What a good play by Kinsler. My go-tos for Richards to be successful here today against this Jays lineup is throw that slider early in counts. Get ahead of the count with a slider and break a ball in the strike zone, then finish off with that one out of the zone. And then you got to really slow the game down at times for Garrett. Stuff is so good. He's just got to make sure he's under control and trust in the game plan by him and Martin Maldonado behind the plate. But that break a ball, but especially the curve and slider, very, very important against this lineup for Toronto. And throwing it for strikes, especially early in counts.
There's Donaldson. Swinging first pitch, lines went out to the alley in right center field. That will go to the wall. Donaldson on his way to second with a 1-out double. That's his 8th of the season.
Being aggressive on a fastball down. Stays back on a well. It's located pretty well, lower part of the strike zone, but he's determined to get that first pitch fastball, and he drives it into the gap for his 8th double of the season.
Man in scoring position now for Justin Smoke, the first baseman. All-star last year. 252 average this year. Kinsler out in shallow right. Simmons toward the middle. Justin last year career high in average 270, home runs 38, and RBIs with 90. Good pitch. Evens up the count.
That's
8th
that
career
breakable.
game. Sorry, Gooby. 6th start for Garrett.
Yeah, he needs to be able to get that curveball and slider in the strike zone to be able to expand. When you look at his numbers this season versus his slider and curveball, much more consistent as far as neutralizing hitters than it is with his fastball so far this year.
Those numbers I mentioned against Toronto. Smoke pulls this one down the line foul.
You look at the numbers this season versus fastball, and that's exactly what Donaldson hit off of Richards. 287 with 4 home runs, but this 113 versus his slider and curve, a couple home runs allowed by Richards.
One out double. Donaldson standing at second. Toronto 22-25 on the season. 4 games under 500 at home and 11-15. Angels, as we've pointed out, 14-4 out on the road. Breaking ball, full pile.
That was a curveball from Richards. He has a good feel for his curveball, especially if you can get that going early in the game against the left-handed batters. Because that's a field pitch for him. The index finger off the baseball. So you really have to stay back and under control in your mechanics to be consistent with that pitch for Richards.
Missed down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Halos went down in order. Top of the first. Jay Happ on the mound.
It's been outstanding when you look at his numbers last 3 starts. Hit a lot of ground ball outs also.
And the dirt gets away from Maldonado. Donaldson will take third. Wild pitch.
It's his 10th wild pitch this season. Hard slider overthrown off the body with that spin when it hits the dirt. Very difficult for a catcher to keep that in front.
Infield back, of course, here in the first. Hernandez on deck. 3-2 to Smoke.
That's a pretty good pitch. I mean, that's all over the strike zone. Breaking ball gets that inside part. Strike zone not called.
Well, we've talked about it before with visiting catchers. There was really no need for Martin Maldonado to pull that ball down the way he did with that breaking ball. And perhaps maybe that threw DeMuro off a little bit. First and third. Double followed by the walk to Oscar Hernandez, the right fielder. 25-year-old Dominican. 256 batting average. 7 home runs. 18 runs batted in. First pitch for a strike. Blue Jays don't run a whole lot. 21 stolen bases. Certainly would be just smoke on the move. Toronto 14th in average, 5th in home runs with 61, 3rd in runs scored. As John Gibbons said in the pregame show, if they don't hit home runs, they struggle scoring runs.
Richards has gotten 6 double plays turned behind him this season already. Looking for number 7.
Lined out towards center. Here comes Trout. He's not going to catch it. It'll fall in there. 1-0 Toronto. Donaldson scores. Teoscar Hernandez picks up his 19th run batted in.
Pitch, they'll break a ball towards the end of the bat, but use that middle of the field approach and ends up in an RBI single. Jay's up early. 19th RBI of the season for Hernandez.
Kevin Pillar at the plate. Batting in the number 5 spot. .294 batting average for Pillar. 18 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs, and 20 runs batted in. It's 18 doubles, putting him just 1 behind Mookie Betts, who's having a MVP caliber season for Boston. That's a foul, 0-2.
Pillar moved up into batting order for the Jays. You usually see him at a 7th or 8th spot in the lineup.
Two on, 1 out. We're in the first. 1-0 Blue Jays. Line toward third. Glove by Cozart. Fires to second, but alertly Smoke gets back to second base. 2 down.
Nice play by Cozart and quick to make a throw, and Kimser's looking in there. Wonder if they did get a shot at that double play ball. Lines it. Nice play. Quick throw to second. Good defensive play by Cozart.
Still haven't made a determination as to whether or not they're going to challenge it. So DeMuro heading over to talk to Soshin, and now he waves it off. Russell Martin, the catcher, 152 on the season, 5 home runs and 12 runs batted in.
Couple combinations right there for Richards, keeping the ball down. Martin has really struggled against low pitches and inside pitches this season.
Russell now 35 years of age.
Good fastball 96, going back to those numbers versus low pitches and inside pitches against Martin this season. 065 on low pitches, 139 on inside pitches. So he has struggled on both those. First pitch was right there for Richards. Now he has an opportunity to expand the strike zone and get through this inning with no more damage.
Long bottom of the first for Garrett Richards. 21 pitches so far, 2 hits, 1 walk. Line to right field, and Young racing over, goes off his glove. What should have been the 3rd out of the inning ends up costing the Angels 2 runs, 3-0 Toronto. A fairly routine play, even though he had to break to his right. Martin ends up at second base.
Yeah, outer part of the plate. Hit it well. Young, his angle initially not right on it. Unable to track that one down off the glove.
It's an error all the way. Unearned runs come across.
This is his first error since May 2015 for Chris Young.
So the inning continues. 23rd error committed by the Angels this year. There's Kendrys Morales. Takes a strike. Former Angel hitting 163. 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in.
That was 237 errorless games in a row for Chris Young before that mistake there on that baseball hit that way by Russell Martin.
One ball, one strike. Got to be deflating as a pitcher. I know you still got to go back out there, throw strikes, get that final out. But you're laboring in the first with 22, 23 pitches. You think you've got that third out. And then all of a sudden you don't. And now you're behind by 3.
It's a pitcher who's thrown the ball well, even the top of the first, and really threw the ball well his last time out. But not good career numbers for Happ versus the Angels with a 1-6 record with an ERA over 6.
1-1, 2-1.
And that's a pitch in the strike zone.
Kendrys last year, 28 home runs, 85 runs batted in. For the Blue Jays, second year of a 3-year deal. Pulls this one out to deep right field, and it is 5-0 Blue Jays.
Even though he has struggled this season as far as the batting average, still good power when you make a mistake. Kendrys Morales gives the Blue Jays a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning still. It's a backup slider. That's that one we talk about. It almost works like a split finger fastball, but right out over the plate. Morales does not miss that mistake.
Two outs, bases clear. Urshela, the shortstop upstairs, takes upstairs, I should say. On the 27th pitch thrown by Garrett here in the first. One ball, one strike. Urshela, recently claimed by the Blue Jays from the Cleveland Indians. 231 with a home run and 3 runs batted in. Here's this one down the right field line. Long run for Young. Crosses into foul territory, squeezes this one, and there's the third out. 8 men come to the plate. We'll head to the second with the Angels down 5-0.
be able to come back against this Jays team. A little fly-by-night by Rush. Got to think in terms of the big fly against Happ. He's allowed 9 home runs this season. Just got to get some runners on before that happens.
Pujols, Ohtani, and Simmons for the Angels here in the second. Queued up the first base line. Justin Smoke, Jay Happ talking it over. And it's Smoke that ends up picking it up and flipping it over to Happ. 1 down.
Now with Shohei Ohtani coming to play, his BP was worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. Walking up today here at Rogers Center where he hit a baseball during batting practice. Amazing how far this baseball went. That's the 3rd deck in right center field for Shohei Ohtani. Worthy of a Carl's Cam replay.
Swings through the first one. 321 batting average.
It's a pretty good idea how far that went. That's amazing.
No thin air to talk about here, especially with the roof closed. More of compressed air. Two balls, 1 strike.
Shohei Ohtani that's hitting .222 versus left-handed pitching this season, but over in Japan, much higher as far as the batting average versus lefties.
Lays off.
It's a good take. Cutter away off the plate. See those numbers: 309 versus lefties, 279 versus righties over in Japan.
3-2, and he'll work the walk. Angels' first base runner of the game. And we'll bring up Andrelton Simmons. Andrelton hitting .329, 10 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Pulls this one to third. First pitch swinging. Donaldson. A high throw to Travis. They turned the double play. They might take a look at the one at second base just to make sure Travis stayed connected somehow with that right foot.
High throw from Donaldson. Now he's still on the base.
Inning-ending double play. We head to the bottom of the second with the Blue Jays up 5-0. First 7:07 first pitch. Fans in attendance will receive a delightful cooler bag courtesy of Yakult probiotic drink while supplies last. For more info, go to angels.com. Bottom of the second, 8 men came to the plate. 5 scored, 4 unearned runs. Travis, Granderson, and Donaldson, 9-1-2 for Toronto.
Remember, last time out for Richards threw the ball well. 2 unearned runs were the difference between winning and losing that game against Justin Verlander and the Astros.
Ball and a strike. Travis was sent down to AAA Buffalo late April. Called back up during the off day in the lineup. Late on that one, 1-2. Got some pretty decent production out of Solarte, Yangervis Solarte, former Yankee, former Padre. He's a team leader in home runs with 10. There he is. Kendrys Morales to his right, homering in that first inning. Down goes Travis. First strikeout of the game. 1 out.
That slider had some pretty good depth to it. That's a perfect one from Richards. Let's take a look at our Nissan pitch cast in the location of this slider. Lower part of the strike zone, but late break to it. Excellent pitch from Richards.
Granderson grounded out to start the first. Takes a strike.
Certainly not unusual for Granderson to take a first pitch. He's only swung at 2.4% of first pitches thrown to him. It's tops in the majors in that category. Saw that with Joe Mauer. I'll certainly see it even more so with Granderson.
This one's out toward right center field. Trout's there. 2 down.
See Trout looking up too. He's a little different playing in a dome environment here at Rogers Center. More than likely we'll see it open tomorrow. It's supposed to be a beautiful day here in Toronto.
Donaldson double to the alley at right center in his first at bat, 8th double of the year. Takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good. Those 4 unearned runs in that first inning now gives the Angels 14 unearned runs in the month of May.
22 on the season, which is the 5th most in Major League Baseball. The odd thing is Garrett Richards had 10 unearned runs against him this season.
But that goes back to your point when you talk about being in the minor leagues and how the organization looked down upon a pitcher that gave up too many unearned runs, meaning he couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
Couldn't finish it there. Just get that final out and not let it kind of snowball on you.
Yeah, sometimes you can't control it, but other times you just try to pick up your teammate as quick as possible. And you look at how many unearned runs as a pitcher you have allowed during the course of a season.
Down goes Donaldson. A 1-2-3 second inning for Garrett Richards. Picks up 2 strikeouts, 2 complete. Blue Jays up 5-0. Halos down 5-0, top of the third. Cozart, Maldonado, and Young coming up against J-Happ. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 1 double play ball thrown. Zach takes a strike.
Yeah, when you look at his ground ball percentage, we talk about he's averaging 11.2 strikeouts per 9 innings for Happ. He's also got 50% ground ball outs. So he's a guy that gets the ground ball.
Cued off the end of the bat into foul territory. Smoke gets over there, makes a nice play on it, 1 out. Maldonado batting in the number 8 spot, hitting .248, 6 doubles, a couple of home runs, 11 runs batted in.
Maldonado 3 for 9 in his career versus Happ.
Foul back. Maldonado, .390 batting average in the month of May. .422 on base percentage. Loses the handle. I see that quite a bit with him. Bottom hand comes off the bat.
And a lot of times that'll happen, especially when he's looking to turn on the pitch. That was a pretty good pitch to hit the other way, and he's been pretty solid in the month of May, hitting the ball the other way. Feel that front hip opened up, and he's unable to control with both hands on the bat.
2-2.
Not surprising, went right back outside again after a swing like that on a pitch away. One thing about Happ, he works quickly and he knows exactly what he wants to try to do with his fastball.
He's been around parts of 12 seasons in the big leagues. Originally a 3rd round pick by Philadelphia, 2004 at Northwestern.
Taking a tape off that hand after that follow through the pitch before.
Pitch him inside, and he'll take a called strike 3 right over the heart of the plate. 2 down, 2nd strikeout for Happ.
Arco, quality top-tier gas for less.
Bases clear, and Chris Young at the plate, the right fielder. Angels still looking for that first hit. Chris' batting average of 140. 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in.
Chris Young, another Angel hitter with very good career numbers against Happ. He's .333, 7 for 21 with a couple home runs. Turn that changeup over.
Actually, he's coming off a pretty good performance against the Mets. Who today, by the way, signed Jose Bautista to a big league deal. Bouncing left side, that'll sneak through for a base hit. Between 3rd and short, the Angels have their first base runner as far as a hit is concerned. With 2 outs here to 3rd. Bautista, by the way, was just let go by Atlanta, so the Mets not wasting any time.
2 National League teams. That's the thing that's kind of surprising with Bautista, but a chance to swing some bats, especially off the bench. Good swing here from Chris Young. It continues that success against Happ. Now 8 for 22 in his career.
I guess the Mets, with the injuries that have hit them, especially Cespedes, looking for some help. Top of the order now, Kinsler. He struck out in the first.
Certainly a real good hitter's ballpark. You're right back in the game with one big swing of the bat here from Kinsler, though.
Two balls, no strikes. 5 runs in the first for Toronto.
You see those power alleys at 375. That's pretty good for guys that can drive the ball in the air here in this yard here. Rogers Center.
Foul back to it one. Yeah, fairly symmetrical ballpark. 328 down the lines, 400 straight away. Or just to the right of straight away from our vantage point. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that was Ian's pitch right there.
Happ's been able to get back into counts too. And I guess when you're pitching with that much confidence and being able to work both sides.
See where Martin set up, that ended up being right out over the plate.
Very similar to the pitch that Maldonado took for a strike. Sometimes as a hitter, you sense that they're going to pitch you in, and it fools you enough because it's not in, but it's right over the heart of the plate. This is lined out toward left center field. Granderson's there. And the Angels are done here in the third. We'll head to the bottom of the frame with Toronto on top.
That time he did it with the Padres, tying Todd Zeile for the major league record. The Canadian-born Matt Stairs. Homer for the Red Sox, the A's, Cubs, Brewers, Pirates, Royals, Rangers, Tigers, Blue Jays, Phillies, and Padres.
Matt Stairs, I believe played shortstop for Team Canada in the Olympics once. That Matt Stairs.
Yes. Oh, hitting coach for the Padres.
Yeah.
Good dude, by the way.
Here to third, Smoke, Hernandez, and Pilar. Could be the 1988 Baseball World Cup. The All-Star team. Matt Stairs was the shortstop on that All-Star team.
Yeah.
Not bad, huh?
No.
Smoke takes outside. Tino Martinez at first. Matt Stairs at short. Robin Ventura at third. Of the names would be familiar to you. Mike Fiore, the DH.
Pretty good team.
Remember Mike?
Yes.
University of Miami. Smoke takes a strike. Justin walked in the first inning and scored one of the 5 runs. The only free pass issued by Garrett. He's retired 4 since giving up the home run to Kendricks. That's yanked down the right field line, and it is foul.
And one thing for his slider on occasion, we talked about it, that one against Browns, backs up on him, does have that downward tilt, going for that back foot of a left-handed batter. Richardson thought he got the upper part of the strike zone with his curveball. Didn't get the call.
That's line to center field, a base hit. Young was shading him that way. Will cut it off more toward the alley. And so it's a leadoff single when the pitch was up.
One thing we remember over Smoke over the years, he will hit that pitch elevated. See that upper part of the strike zone, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Stay back on it well. Right center field for a single. On base twice in this game so far with a walk. And now a single.
Hernandez with an RBI single and a run scored in the first. Garrett on to throw his 50th pitch. Pretty close to going.
Talked about as far as go-tos to be successful here tonight is get ahead and be able to throw his slider for strike. That has not been the case so far for Garrett Richards. Did lock it in somewhat in the second inning. 2 strikeouts for Richards.
Fifth start out on the road this year, first since May the 4th. That was at Seattle. 2 wins, 2 no decisions out on the road this year for Garrett. That last start you talked about with Houston, that was his longest outing of the season, 7 innings. 3-1.
Still was pretty efficient when you think about it. In that 7 innings, it's 91 pitches, 57 of them strikes.
Flipped out towards shallow right. Kinsler drifting out. Calls for it. One down. Big out. Especially in a 3-1 situation.
Yeah, plenty of time to come back, especially when we talk about this ballpark. It's a good hitter's yard, so you just want to put some zeros up, put yourself in position, help this team come back for you and pick up a W if you're Richards. Showed on the graphic in our opening today, the Angels averaging 6 runs per game on the road.
Smoke over at first base with 1 out. Here's Pilar, lined down to Cozart in the first inning. Career high 16 home runs for Kevin last year. That's 4 this year, now 29 years of age. Jammed, rolled over to third. It's fair ball. Over to Kinsler for 1, and Kinsler better throw to first to complete the double play, and he does. Pilar doesn't like the call. He thought that ball was foul. But the third base umpire, Ben May, made the call immediately. That's an inning-ending double play.
Look like it hugged right down that line. See, initially it's foul. They'll take it. 7th double play, turn behind Richards. Runs that fastball in.
Because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
5-0 Toronto. Top of the 4th there at the Rogers Center. The first of 3 against the Blue Jays. Trout 0 for 1. So 1 pitch skied, went out to center, just got underneath it. Will be followed by Upton, then Pujols. Someone gets on. Ohtani. Mike's average of 294. 14 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Two-one pitch. Upstairs, 3-1.
See what happens the second time through after a day off. Sometimes that first at bat is always difficult to get your timing together. See if the offense can come to life here now in the 4th inning.
Leadoff walk to start the fourth. Second free pass issued by the lefty. It's funny how that works. And some guys, it bothers them, especially the All-Star break. And the last thing you want to be is a hot team going into the All-Star break offensively, because the odds are it's difficult to carry that momentum coming back on Thursday or Friday.
Very difficult. I always felt the day off, you know, you obviously love to recharge the body.
Right.
But that first at bat is always difficult. At that point, you're just hoping for a mistake, and then you're going to get your swing back after that. But that first time at the plate after a day off, even though you have your batting practice, is always the toughest one.
Upton shoots one out to right field, a base hit. Trout will take third. Hernandez up with it, gets it back in, and the Angels have runners at the corners to start the fourth inning. Justin in a fly ball to center, his first at bat, so he's 1 for 2 now.
Pretty good piece of hitting on the little two-seamer sinker away. Stay with it. His first hit since coming back from being hit by that pitch back in that Tampa series.
Albert cued one to Smoke, leading off the second, so he's 0 for 1. And you would think if you're Albert that if J-Happ got him out on that pitch, out in front on an off-speed pitch, and squibs one over to first base, you figure he's going to see soft stuff away.
Yeah, you have to force the hitter to make that adjustment. And Albert certainly has done that throughout his whole career.
A little bit high, 2-0. He was ready to pull the trigger, and he did so.
Wow, that was a good swing. That's what you want. 2-0 swing for Albert. 323 career hitter in this ballpark. Trying to add on to those numbers.
He's faced Happ plenty of times. 9 for 35 coming into play today with a home run and 6 runs batted in. He's got Trout over at third base, a leadoff walk for Mike. Went to third on the single by Upton, who's at first. 2-1 pitch. That's out towards shallow left center field. Not very deep. Long run in for Granderson. That's going to fall in there. Perfectly placed in the Bermuda Triangle. The Angels get a run and an RBI for Pujols, and it's 5-1 Toronto.
Albert doesn't get many RBIs like that, but that's a perfectly placed sand wedge. Another off-speed pitch towards the end of the bat, but you have to respect the power of Pujols, especially after a swing like he had the pitch before. They're playing deep. It falls in nicely. Trout scores yet another run after a walk.
So 2 on, nobody out. Ohtani walked into second. Takes a strike.
By the way, that was a 42nd walk for Trout this season. Leader amongst that category in the American League. Excellent numbers after starting a game on the mound.
A roller toward third. Donaldson goes to second base. No double play turn. Upton ends up at third. The fielder's choice, putting a man at first base in Ohtani.
Now with Anderson Simmons coming to the dish. Now it's time for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. And he's going to be facing a pitcher that throws a lot of fastballs, and J-Happ, 324 batting average on fastballs this season. For Anderson Simmons, can drive the ball in the inner half, can hit the ball the other way when it's pitched away, and can turn on a fastball middle in. Perfect scenario right now to get all the way back in the game with one swing of the bat from Anderson Simmons versus a pitcher that throws 72% of the time fastballs.
Anderson Simmons grounded into a double play that ended the second in his first plate appearance. Chops this one to Donaldson. They're not going to turn 2 on it. The run will score. So Anderson has seen 2 pitches. He'll pick up the RBI here, and it's 5-2 Toronto. I'm not mistaken, both of the pitches he's seen have been off speed.
Staying away from those fastballs. He knows those numbers versus the fastball for Anthony Simmons.
Ohtani ends up at second. Here's Zach Cozart, who popped out in foul territory.
Still a chance to get closer. Very good numbers on the road this season for Cozart, 329.
Way upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two, 2.
And trying to elevate with back-to-back fastballs against Cozart. Saw that at times, pitchers trying to elevate on fastballs against Cozart to take away that launch angle that he has as far as driving the ball in the air.
Two runs in for the Angels, 5-2 Toronto. We're the 4th. All started with a leadoff walk to Trout. Ohtani at second base. Here comes the 2-2. Cozart drives one out toward left field. Granderson moving back, still drifting back, and stepped onto the track and puts it away for the 3rd out. Halos on the board. They down 5-2 as we hit the bottom of the 4th.
California Ford dealers. Buy Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box. And by your Southern California Cadillac dealers.
The Rogers Center here in downtown Toronto. Kick off a 10-game road trip, 3-game series against the Blue Jays. And it is 5-2. CN Tower next door. Plenty of Angel fans in attendance for batting practice. And nice appreciation of Shohei Ohtani here by both Blue Jay fans and, of course, Angel fans.
Yeah.
As Garrett takes the mound for the 4th.
One of those situations now as a starting pitcher, you have to have that mindset. If I could put up a 0 this inning, we're going to win this game. That's the feeling you have to have right now if you're Richards.
Martin Morales and Urshela, 6, 7, and 8 for the Blue Jays. Russell Martin reached on the error by Chris Young in the first inning. That brought home 2 runs, kept the inning alive. Would have been the 3rd out. So he's 0 for 1. He has the count evened up on him at 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 hits for the Angels, 4 for Toronto. Kendrick's on deck. And a leadoff walk to start the 4th. Second free pass issued by Garrett. '19th walk picked up by Russell Martin. Kendrick with the home run of the first, 2-run shot, 4th of the year. With 13 runs batted in, as that one missed low. Not a big lead at all for Russell Martin. That's ripped to the right side. Kinsler have to go off his glove. Martin will turn and head to 3rd, and the Blue Jays have runners at the corners to start the 4th.
This infield's gotten a lot quicker. This field turf, remember a couple of years ago, it was pretty slow, especially even in the outfield, but it's getting quicker and quicker now. Baseball barely got by Kinsler and off the glove and ended up being basic go 1st to 3rd.
Goes back to that leadoff walk, though, especially after your guys just put 2 runs on the board. Nobody out. Urshela at the plate. He had a fly ball to right field to end the 1st inning. Made up his mind. He was hacking. 1 ball would strike. Urshela, 26-year-old native of Colombia. Got into 67 games with the Indians last year. Hit .224. But a versatile guy that can play multiple positions. Lifted down the right field line, slicing foul. You hear that bullpen phone ringing here. They've got new rings throughout Major League Baseball and all the ballparks, so it's ringing. It looks like there's some movement in the Angels pen. Nobody loosening as of yet. It's a loud ring too, by the way.
Yes. It's a chance right now if you're Richards to get a strikeout, an important one right here. But you still have a chance to get through the inning with a double play ball if you can get that punch out right now.
One, two. Urshela pulls one to third. Cozart's going to come home, and why not? You've got Russell Martin hung up. Run him all the way back to third. Morales is between second and third base. There's the tag. One out, and you still have a double play in order. Nice job by Cozart and Maldonado.
Yeah, good read on that. Was hit pretty well by Urshela, but right at Cozart, knowing you don't want to give up an extra run there. You could probably get a double play, but you want to cut that run off at the plate. That's exactly what he did. Good play. Well done too, making sure that runner could not make its way over to third base also, so you got the double play in order.
Nagy out to pay a visit.
It's a big out for Richards and the Angels.
Ian Kroll, who's yet to see action in Angels uniform, being called up a couple days ago. Noe Ramirez. Devin Travis, the man at the plate. He struck out in the second. Travis came in batting 148, one double, one triple, one home run, 3 runs batted in. Oh, 2.
Good tight slider there. That was more of the normal slider for Richards. The one before kind of backed up like a splitter. This was a good sharp one. 90-mile-an-hour slider.
69th pitch of the night coming. Called strike 3. Down goes Travis. 2 outs.
One of the first ones that Murray has called that might have been a little bit off the outside part of the plate on a slider. That was a big one though for Richards. Just kept that glove right there. That was a good job by Maldonado. Not a lot of movement, just kept it there. The presentation of it's in the strike zone.
Anderson 0 for 2. Takes a strike. Ground ball to second and a fly ball to right. Kendrys Morales, the base runner, second base. Urshela at first. 5-2 Toronto. We're in the 4th. Now throw to second, and they almost got Kendrys. He wasn't that far off the base.
No. That was a timing play put on before the pitch is made. See, sneaking right behind Morales. Quick tag. Looked like he got his foot in there.
They're going to challenge it. Andrew Bailey wants him to challenge it. So Jim Reynolds, the second base umpire. Mark Wegner, the crew chief, who's at first.
Unless his foot came off the base, it looked from that one angle that we saw, it looked like he got that foot in there before the tag was applied, but we know how quick that tag is from Andrelton Simmons. What a perfect throw, too, by Maldonado. Better angle right here.
It kind of gives you the appearance that maybe the tag didn't get there before the foot.
Did he get him on that hip?
So there makes it looks like he maybe got him before
If he
that
got him
foot
on the
there.
hip before the foot got there.
I'm not doubting Andrew Bailey.
No.
Been pretty good this year.
But is it enough to overturn that call? What was called safe?
Safe. It's the 14th challenge that the Angels have had this year. Now at 50%. They've been successful 7 times. One ball, one strike. 1-2. Boy, Granderson, you mentioned the numbers he's had in his career against Richards. He looks very comfortable at the plate.
Even being patient enough to take the first pitch. Not overly concerned about being behind in the count. Doesn't swing at the first pitch hardly at all anyhow. But generally you would think against Richards, you're more than likely to be swinging first pitch because you might get a fastball. Because you don't want to necessarily deal with his slider at all. When he stays on top of that pitch, it could be unhittable. It's a good block. Very important block there by Maldonado with Kendrys Morales at second base. Even if there's a base hit in the outfield, you have a shot at the plate. It ends up being a good play, big play for Maldonado.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. 5-2 Blue Jays. We're in the 4th. Toronto with 5 in the first. Angels getting 2 in the top of this inning. Lifted out to left. It's playable for Upton. And Garrett Richards got into some trouble with runners at the corners with nobody out. No runs come across. We're headed to the 5th here in Toronto with the Angels down by 3.
today. By Carl's Jr., take your mouth to Memphis, the call of Carl's. And by your Southern California Cadillac dealers.
Top of the fifth here in Toronto. Roof is closed at the Rogers Center. The Angels down 5-2 as Martin Maldonado will lead things off. He'll be followed by Chris Young and then Ian Kinsler. Jay Happ on the mound for the Blue Jays. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 3 hits allowed. Maldonado struck out looking into third. Down it in. Count even up at a ball and a strike. 59 pitches for Happ. A couple words for DeMuro.
Almost could read his lips saying, okay, I want that pitch for my pitcher if you're going to call that one a strike against me. Lower part of the strike. And it was a strike, though.
That's a strike. And he doesn't call that
yes.
one. And now Russell Martin. Somebody from the Blue Jays dugout. You got 2 catchers up there saying, hey, man, just don't take it out on us.
Yeah.
Whatever you do. We're just asking. You know?
Yeah, we're protecting you just in case some of those pitches bounce in the dirt. We're taking care of you.
2-2. Down goes Maldonado. 1 away. Chris Young comes up. He had the Angels' first hit in the 3rd inning.
Much better number career-wise versus lefties. He has left that changeup up on occasion on the outer part of the plate. It's a pitch you can drive deep to right center field.
One on the way. We'll shoot this one out toward left center field. Not very deep. Pilar has to come in on it. 2 outs. Stay tuned during the 7th inning stretch for the Nissan Game Break with Jose Mota. Two outs, nobody on. It's 4 retired since Ohtani reached under fielder's choice in the 4th inning. Kinsler 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to left. So now to right center field. Pilar calling for it. Easy, quick. 1, 2, 3, 5th for Jay Happ. One to the bottom of the inning. Toronto still leading it. Start celebrate Albert Pujols' 300,000th career hit. We've been late, a little bit late to that party if it was 300th. Oh my gosh! For more information on Pujols' 3,000th hit bobblehead presented by Interactive Mortgage, go to angels.com. Hey, we're bringing it back. It's flashback to number 300.
Yes.
With a Sharpie with the extra zero at the end.
And 600, 900, all the way up to 3,000.
Garrett Richards facing 2, 3, and 4 in the bottom of the 5th. 5-2 Toronto. Donaldson, Smoke, and Hernandez. Seeing off the plate for ball 1. Donaldson with a double and a run scored in the 1st. Struck out in the 2nd.
It's one of those backup sliders again for Richards, and Donaldson had a pretty good hack at it. See that reaction by Richards. It's all a matter of getting on top of the baseball or not. They have that different break to it.
2 balls, 1 strike. Nice job by Garrett Tude coming out of the 4th inning with a walk and a single, putting runners at 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Yep.
Inducing the ground ball fielder's choice to 3rd, getting Martin for out number 1, and striking out Travis and getting Granderson to hit a fly ball to left.
That fastball four-seamer had some cutting action to it. You can see where this pitch started, where it ends up. Slick cutter. Although Richards will say it every time, it's a four-seam fastball, not a cut fastball. That'll be his best fastball tonight. 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Richards. At 31 pitches tonight, 95 or higher as far as velocity. He's been settling a lot of those right around 95, 96. That one there at 97.
2-2. Late on that one.
The first inning with 29 pitches. 5 runs in that inning.
Just above the strike zone at 96. Three-two. Donaldson lifts one out toward right center field. Hit well. Young is not going to get there. One hops the fence. Already with 1 double on the night. Make that 2. And this one's a leadoff one to start the 5th.
The slider gang kind of backed up a little bit. Donaldson with 2 strikes, even 3-2 on that count, was just looking to drive the ball the other way. Twice in this game, he's almost hit the ball the exact same spot. One on a fastball, that one on a slider.
Donaldson will take 3rd.
Second wild pitch of the game, the 11th wild pitch of the season for Richards. That slider's in the left-handed batter's box. I'm surprised it didn't hit his foot.
Infield halfway now with Smoke at the plate. He's been on board twice with a walk and a single. Two zero.
Potential last batter here for Richardson. Even though the pitch count's still only 84, it's been a tough 84 from the get-go.
Noe Ramirez back up and loosening. Two and one. Garrett ready. Here comes the 2-1. Donaldson over at third. It's 3 balls and a strike.
So good on the road this season, Richards, but tonight it's been a struggle for him with command.
Three one. Dribbler up the line, foul. Leadoff double for Donaldson. 2 for 3 on the night. And the payoff got him. Wow, nice pitch down and in. Strikeout number 4 for Richards.
Yeah, that's a huge strikeout. That's the thing that Richards has, that capability of getting his swing and miss with his slider. Looks like a strike, ends up out of the strike zone at 90-mile-an-hour slider. Good late break to that one.
Infield still in. Teoscar Hernandez, the right fielder, at the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a pop-up. This one out towards center. Not very deep. Trout comes charging in. Donaldson's tagging from third. He's not going to come down the line. Stops right there as Pujols cuts it off.
Yeah, Trout did everything right on that one too. Got behind that baseball, charged it well on a perfect throw in, and keeps Donaldson at third. By the way, that spin rate on that slider to get that swing and miss against Smoke, the important one here is to see Trout get behind the baseball well. Gets a lot on the throw. 3 outfield assists so far this season. Yeah, Richard liking that play by his roommate. Spin rate on that slider to Smoke, 29.55 RPMs. That's
pretty good.
Well above the average.
Pilar 0 for 2. No balls and a strike. He stood at the plate on that last ground out that ended up being a 5-4-3 double play. Called fair by Ben May, the third base umpire. 0-2.
That was another nasty slider, 91-mile-an-hour slider from Richards. A tight late break to that one.
Not overthrown.
29.72 on the spin rate on that one.
Oh-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Kozart's got it. Across the diamond, and for the second consecutive inning, Garrett Richards gets out of a little bit of a jam. 5 in the books. Angels down 5-2. Sixth inning. Tyler Skaggs on the mound for the Angels. 4 road starts this year. He's been spectacular. Aaron Sanchez on the mound for Toronto.
Sanchez a lot more changeups this season for Toronto. Grew up a big Angel fan. Aaron Sanchez. There's Tyler Skaggs, who's been outstanding on the road this season. Overall, in the last 5 starts, 2.12. But 3-0 on the road with a 1.14 ERA for Skaggs on the road this season.
2, 3, 4 for the Angels. Here in the 6th inning, Trout, Upton, and Pujols. Trout with a fly ball to center in the 1st inning. Walked and scored the 4th. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Upton on deck with a base hit to right field his last at bat.
Tied him up. Trout goes down swinging. 4th strikeout of the night for Happ.
Trout a lot of fastballs. Well, cutter on that fastball there. They get a swing and miss.
Upton 1 for 2, a single to right, and a run scored the 4th. Lays off. Very similar to that pitch he shot into right.
He's missed some spots when he's been, especially when Martin set up in, even off the plate in. He's let those fastballs out middle part of the plate.
1-1. A little bit high. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, we talked about him throwing about 72% fastballs. That includes his 2-seam, 4-seam fastball. He's really settling on his fastball right now.
That's that high fastball. Unable to lay off.
Back in again.
Back toward the middle. Got jam. Travis is there. 2 down. Nobody out for Albert. Looped a single, picked up an RBI in the 4th. 1 for 2 nights so far. Noe Ramirez still loosening for the Angels, so I wonder if Garrett's done after 5.
That RBI for Albert, 1,940 career RBIs, 8th in the all-time list.
Albert lifting one out toward right. Hernandez drifting toward the foul line. Halos are done here in order in the 6th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. Still 5-2 Blue Jays.
I know you won one team, but they're not there right now.
Yeah, the Lakers are sitting on the couch, but I think the Cavs will take it.
Cavs in the East.
I think LeBron's going to take it home.
I think that the Rockets are going to win it, but in all honesty, I think the Golden State Warriors are going to win it. Go with the Rockets. It'd be fun to see the Celtics do it with the injuries they've had. All those young guys playing well. It'd be fun to watch.
Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Tell you what, all of a sudden the Cavaliers, LeBron has really willed them back in the series, tied at 2. There's Andrew Heaney and Garrett Ridge. I'm still going with Golden State, the Warriors. Going to win the whole championship.
Front runner.
Well, they originated
That's your team
from where?
now?
Yeah, they originated from where?
Oh, there we go. I know there's always it's like Kevin Bacon thing.
Yeah, there is a
6 degrees. Yeah.
Yes.
Noe Ramirez takes over. This pitch change brought to you by Purple Bricks.
By the way, Kevin Bacon is from Philly too.
Shocker.
Yeah, shocker. There you go.
Martin, Morales, and Urshela against Noe Ramirez. This will be his 24th game, 1-2 with a 3.86 ERA, 34 strikeouts, 11 walks, in 25+ innings. Russell Martin reached on the air by Chris Young in the 1st, walked in the 4th. 0 for 1 tonight.
Certainly not an ideal game for Richards, but the last couple of innings he really bared down when he had to keep it a close game. No damage done in the 4th and the 5th inning, even though there's some traffic, especially runners in scoring position.
So down the line, Young runs out of room. A couple of rows deep. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 runs, 3 hits, an error, 4 left on for the Angels. 5 runs, 6 hits, 6 left on for Toronto. 2-2. Full count. Kendrick's on deck. The payoff. Down goes Martin. 1 out.
Small speed pitch goes fastball. Trying to run it back. It's a little bit off the plate, but that's what you want to try to expand the strike zone to get the hitter go after non-strikes, and that's what Noe Ramirez did to get Martin swinging missing.
Kendrick's 2 for 2 with a 2-run home run in the first inning, a single in the fourth. Home run for Morales, his 4th of the year. 13 runs batted in. No way ahead of the count. Halos, the 7th. Have Ohtani, Simmons, and Cozart due up. Jay Happ's retired 8 in a row since that fielder's choice that Ohtani reached on in the 4th. Down goes Morales. Back-to-back strikeouts for Noe. 2 outs.
Both on fastballs from Ramirez.
Hey, join us June 3rd, Family Sunday. Stop by the Gate 5 courtyard for fun activities and stay after the game for Kids Run the Bases. For more information about Family Sunday and Kids Run the Bases, sponsored by Yakult Probiotic Drink, go to angels.com. It's at the 6-game homestand after this roadie. It's 3 against Texas, 3 against Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. And then back out on the road.
What, 29 of 41 games on the road for the Angels?
This one pulled down the line, foul, just out in front of it. Urshela's 0 for 2 tonight. Final line on Richards, 5 innings, 6 hits, including the home run, 5 runs, 1 earned. That's a strike. 4 punch outs and 2 walks.
And 92 pitches for Richards, 58 of them strikes.
Yeah, that next road trip after that 6-game homestand, another 3 city, Minnesota, Seattle, and Oakland. Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Actually, the next 2, because rolling into first week of July, end of June, first week of July, another 3-city trip. 4, actually 4 if you count Kansas City with the makeup.
Yes. Wow.
Urshela goes down swinging, and Noe Ramirez strikes out the side here in the 6th. We're off to the 7th inning. Angels down by 3.
Braves lead the Phillies 2-1 in the 5th inning. The Diamondbacks have really been struggling. 5 straight losses, trail the Rockies by a half a game. They're in a tight game with Milwaukee, who's playing very good baseball. Chris Sale dealing along once again. 5 1/3, 7 punch-outs. As Boston's lead in Tampa 4-2.
Shohei Ohtani, a walk and a fielder's choice, 0 for 1. He leads off the 7th. Simmons and Cozart to follow.
That was a pretty good pitch. I think Shohei Ohtani would love that fastball in that exact location again.
Pulls it foul.
Ends up being the same location, but it was a cutter instead.
Count is evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Happ with 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 hits allowed. All 3 hits singles thus far.
Again, missed location. Tried to run that fastball above the strike zone, end up being right down the heart of the plate. Go with a changeup here. Remember early in the season, Rodriguez, the Boston Red Sox threw him, what, 3 straight changeups? The lefty versus Shohei.
3-2, and he'll strike out swinging on a high fastball, 94. 1 out.
And throw changeup out of the strike zone, ran that 4-seam fastball upstairs to get a swing and miss. Very difficult to bring the hands up and make contact with that pitch. Spin rate on that with 23.41, just barely slightly above average as far as spin rate on his fastball, but its location of the pitch important for Happ.
Simmons takes low. 9 straight now retired by Happ. Andrelton 0 for 2, a double play ball in the 2nd, a ground out with an RBI in the 4th.
pitch before was a pretty good pitch.
Right.
That one, not so.
Not so.
Although I would have taken that one back in the day. And he's been staying away at a lot of those pitches so far against Simmons.
Going back out there, and this one shot down the line, and it's just foul.
That's a pretty good swing. That's why he's so good against a fastball. We talked about that earlier in our tools of the trade. 324 batting average versus a fastball. He stayed back on that one. Line to just foul the right field.
Got another one there.
Yeah, you can see what he's trying to. He's trying to use that middle part of the field. He really goes with the pitch as well as anybody now. He's turned into a very good hitter, Andrelton Simmons. Tough third and fourth inning as far as pitch count for Happ. Now at 92 into the seventh inning. Another real good start for him.
Full count.
He ends up walking him. He could be his last batter.
Oh, in the pen, ready to go. 3-2. And he walked up. Third free pass issued by Happ.
Going back to my Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful. Looking for this right now. Fly by night. There he is. Geddy Lee with rush. Trying to get that big fly right now. A multi-run at big fly. Happ's given up 9 this season. None so far tonight.
Cozart takes one upstairs. He's 0 for 2. He's popped out in foul territory, hit a fly ball to deep left center. Two and 0.
Had to try to run that fastball up now against Cozart in the inner half. Andrelton Simmons trying to get a little bit bigger lead, up to 13-foot lead here. Big lead.
3-0. At half now it's 97 pitches.
Keep in mind, if they do go to the right-hander, you have Luis Valbuena potential. Pinch hitter for Maldonado.
Three-one count. One out walk to Simmons. He stands at first. Cozart pulls this one off the end of the bat to third. That's a inning-ending double play. The Angels are done here in the 7th. Stretch time here in Toronto. Blue Jays on top 5-2. Time now for the Nissan Game Break with Jose Mota.
down by the score of 5-2. Noe Ramirez, who came in the 6th inning, struck out the side, is still in this game. Jay Happ, meanwhile, more than likely done after his 7 innings. Big double play ball on a 3-1 count to end the inning. Cozart 0 for 3 on the night. So it's up to Noe to keep it. A 3-run deficit. See what the Angels can do in the 8th and 9th innings. Nine, 1 and 2. Travis, Granderson, and Donaldson. Count remains at 0-2. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, 99 pitches. Ground ball to short. One down.
Pitch there from Noe once again. Will be into the bat.
Tepera now loosening. Looks like he'll get the 8th inning. Granderson hitless tonight, 0 for 3. Off the plate. One ground out, a couple of fly ball outs. That's yanked and glide right to Albert Pujols. 2 down. Hit the ball hard a couple of times, but nothing to show for it.
Albert in position. It's at minor. A couple times he's won a Gold Glove in his career, especially really solid when he's getting all those games in with St. Louis. 27th start.
MLB at Bat, your #1 Angels app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Angels home screen icons and features such as MLB.tv Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat. Do it today. First one. Donaldson in for a strike.
27th start at first base this season for Pujols. Six starts all of last season at first base.
Donaldson tonight 2 for 3. 2 doubles and a strikeout. That's lined to left field. Out in front of it just enough. Upton's there. Noe Ramirez, a perfect 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down. 7 in the books. Angels need a comeback. They're down 3.
We make it easy, brought to you by SoCal Toyota. Jay Happ, we talk about his four-seam fastball and his command of that pitch and location of that pitch today. 91, 93, consistently with his four-seam fastball, but above or off the plate. Why he's dealt through 7 solid innings for the Jays tonight.
New pitcher is right-hander Ryan Tepera. This will be his 24th appearance, 3-1 with a 2.91 ERA. 25 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 21 plus innings. 19th round pick in 2009 out of Sam Houston State University. Eight 9-1 for the Angels. Maldonado, Young, and Kinsler. Well, Coles come out to the on deck circle.
Yeah, they see that fastball. It runs. This fastball is 94 to 98. Throw a slider and a cut fastball, an occasional changeup.
From high above the Rogers Center. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tepera got into 73 games last season. Career high for him. 7-1 with a 3.59 earned run average. 81 strikeouts and 77 plus innings. 1-1. That's lined down the left field line toward the corner. That's got a chance to be fair, and it is. Short hops the fence. Maldonado in at second with a leadoff double.
Good start to this 8th inning. In scoring position right away. With that swing, it's our top tier play brought to you by Arco. A breaking ball, a little cutter. Went down and got it, hooks it down in that corner. 7 double. Sees it for Martin Maldonado in scoring position here in the 8th.
Cole will pinch hit for Chris Young, who finishes the game going 1 for 2 with a single and a fly ball to center. Calhoun will take over in right field. 161 batting average. 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. 3 extra base hits, 11 runs batted in. They play the shift on him. Bounces this one over to Smoke. Very first pitch. Maldonado advances. 1 out. Top of the order now, Ian Kinsler. Field back. Kinsler 0 for 3. Strike out a couple of fly ball outs. Ian shoots one out to right field. Hernandez got to go back on it. It goes a sac fly. Maldonado will come in to score. The Angels down 2 now. It's 5-3. Kinsler picks up, I should say, 6th run batted in. Base is clear from Trout. So I was thinking about the ground ball. Calhoun as a pinch hitter, he's swinging first pitch. More times than not, you're happy with advancing the base runner. But in this instance, you've got 6 outs. Well, in that case, 6 outs to play with. You're trying to get multiple base runners on board
and put pressure on. This Jays team has had a tough time of late winning games, closing them out.
Trout will take one upstairs. Mike 0 for 2 with a walk. Watch out.
Well, they've pitched inside this almost entire game against no matter who's at the plate. Russell Martin well off the inside corner. Set up a target. Missed by a lot on that target, though. Coming back in again.
Three and one.
Fan with the rally cap working.
Oh, yeah.
Not a bad time to put that on with Trout at the plate in a 3-1 count.
Upton on deck. 3-1. Lifted foul. Full count. Three-two. Trout hits one high toward left. Not very deep, though. Anderson's got to commit on it. Angels do get a run here in the 8th inning. That's all. 5-3. Toronto ahead at the bottom of the 8th.
Top of the 8th. Let's take a look at the leaders brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. All-time list as far as wins for managers. Associate is 3 behind Tommy Lasorda, moving to the 20th all-time. Coached him all 13 years as a member of the Dodgers. Lasorda there for Mike Scioscia, but moving up on that all-time win list. It's 3 away from Tommy Lasorda, moving in the top 20 all-time for W's for managers.
Cam Bedrosian takes over on the bump for the Angels here in the 8th. 23rd appearance, 1-0 with a 4.19 ERA, 15 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 19+ innings. It's 3, 4, and 5. Smoke, Hernandez, and Pilar. First one's in the dirt. Cole, as we mentioned, stays in the game at right. No other changes for the Angels. Justin Smoke tonight, a walk, single, and a strikeout. 1 for 2. Four hits for the Angels, 6 for Toronto. 3 happened in the first inning. That's the difference in this game, really, is a missed fly ball in right. Kind of opened up the inning. Brought home 2 runs, made it 3-0. And then on the very next batter, Kendrys Morales, a 2-run home run. So 4 unearned runs in that first. Two and 1. Smoke shooting with foul. Slices out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stay tuned for Angels Live postgame coming up right after the game, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Full count. Teoscar Hernandez on deck. Here's a payoff. Smoke lays off, and it's a walk to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
The Angels only down by 2. You're just a bloop and a blast away from a tie ball game. You want to make sure you put up a 0 here for Cam Bedrosian.
Tyler Clippard. The Angels have had some success against getting ready. He's closing for Osuna.
Especially of late.
Yep. Last game for Bedrosian was on the 18th. Gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in 2/3 of an inning. Teoscar Hernandez 1 for 3. An RBI single with a run scored in the first. Takes low, 1-0. And the one thing that stands out too with Cam this year, he's averaging 17.5 pitches per inning. That's a lot of pitches for a guy coming out of the bullpen. And he's got the stuff to not necessarily have to throw and nibble on the corners. Not that he is, but I'm just saying, just can't find that right release point consistently. This is grounded to second. You'll take that. 4, 6. Hernandez gets down the line well, but it's a 3. Double play. 2 outs.
So that's the thing. You can take that sting out of the bat by throwing some good pitches, located well with a fastball. It's 94, 95 like Cam has. And a very good breaking ball when he doesn't overthrow it. Perfect location. 94-mile-an-hour fastball off the end of the bat. 4, 6, 3 double play.
Kevin Pillar 0 for 3. Halo's in the 9th, by the way. That one's downstairs. Have Upton, Pujols, and Ohtani. Someone gets on board. Andrelton Simmons. Toronto came into play today, having lost 4 straight. They got swept in the series against Oakland.
One of the 39th double play that Andrelton Simmons has turned this season.
He's pretty good.
Rumor has it. That's a league leader in that category as far as turning double plays, Andrelton Simmons.
That's out toward right, hit pretty well. Cole moving back on it. Just shy of the track. We'll put it away for the 3rd out. We'll head to the 9th. Angels down by 2.
home run in 16 of the 18 games. See if they could do that again. Shohei Ohtani due up this inning also, along with Justin Upton and Albert Pujols.
Tyler Clippard's on the mound. 4-1 with a 1.90 ERA, 1 save, 27 strikeouts, 12 walks, and 23+ innings.
Yeah, fastballs 89-93. He'll throw a slider, changeup, and split finger fastball. A lot of all-speed pitches. And there's no doubt he remembers the lack of success he's had against the Angels, so you got to put pressure on him right away.
Up to 4 for 10 in his career. 3 of those home runs. Off speed, first strike. Just in a 1-for-3 game, Singleton scored back in the 4th. With Osuna on administrative leave is what they're calling it, facing a possible suspension by Major League Baseball for an off the field issue. It's Clippard that's been called upon to try to close games out for Toronto. Pulled foul. 1-2. Upstairs, see Russell Martin flashing the glove up on that top part of the zone. That's the new thing. Get guys, especially that have lived in the bottom part of the zone with that launch angle, to chase the pitch up in the zone.
I would imagine he'll come back now with that split or a changeup.
2-2 pitch, and he got him with the off-speed pitch. 1 out.
Splitter out of the strike zone, 82-mile-an-hour pitch. Couple home runs in his career for Pujols against Clippard.
One for 3. RBI single in the 4th inning. That's out towards center field. Pilar's got to go back a couple of steps. 2 down. Fans, for information on how to watch Thursday's Angels game against the Toronto Blue Jays, please visit angels.com or listen to Angels Radio AM 830. Ohtani takes a strike. The 0-1 pitch. That's off the plate.
It looked like Martin wanted something inside, and Clippard shook off to go to a backdoor curveball.
Ohtani trying to get on board for Simmons, who's on deck. 1-1 pitch. Pops him up. Off-speed pitch. Russell Martin, Justin Smoke, the first baseman, calling for it. And the Angels drop the opener by the final of 5-3.
Yeah, it's tough to come back from that 5-run deficit there in the first inning. key by Kenys Morales. He's our Land Rover above and beyond player of the game. The 2-run home run in the first was the big swing there from Morales. Ended up with 2 hits in the game. Played 7 years with the Halos, all the way up to 2012 for Kenys Morales. But his 2-run home run was the key for the Blue Jays winning and scoring those 5 runs in the first inning.
Oh, second straight outing for Garrett Richards, where the unearned runs did him in. He takes the loss, while Jay Happ pitched well for his second consecutive win, and Clifford picks up the save. 5-3 the final. Stick around. Angels Live post game is coming up next.